What's up, family? Jason Brown here, and I want to have a real conversation today. And I want to talk about the problem that we as Black people face, especially when we reach an iconic threshold such as a millionaire. And so I just want to break some of these down, get some stuff off my chest, and really just enlighten people to what we go through. And I'm also going to share with you at the end why I'm wearing the 5-year millionaire trader shirt and talk to you about the movement that I'm starting with respect to helping people ideally become or start their journey to become a millionaire, hopefully within 5 years. So let me talk about problem number one. And this is from my personal experience. So I'm not speaking for the entire culture, but there are some aspects that I believe other Black individuals experience. So problem number one is, we finally get to a point where we make some money, you hit millionaire status, you become a millionaire, you're able to afford some really nice things. And I noticed that in our circles, sometimes we're afraid to talk about money because we are afraid that our friends, that our family who are not maybe doing as well financially may come and ask us for some money, or there's this kind of burden that's put on you that's like, since you're doing well, you should be able to loan me some money or be able to help me out. And one of the issues with that is it's a lot of hard work and sometimes it's just smart work. It's not always hard, but it's a combination of hard work, smart work, and figuring it out to get to the million. And what I found is once you kind of hit that level, I thought like having $1 million or having a net worth million or a combination of both, which I've hit, I thought that was like the holy grail. It's not till you get there till you realize you're one lawsuit away, you're one car accident away, you're one event away from not really having it all. And that's not to live in fear or anything, but the point I'm trying to make is that you don't necessarily get there and feel like, oh, I just got all this money that I could just donate to everybody and help everybody out, because you really just kind of crossed that line. And now it's time to build generational wealth, long-term wealth. It may be time to take some calculated risk in some things to see if you can get to 5 to 10 million. And so it's not always just like, oh, he's a millionaire. This person has it. They can help us out. They can give us some money. But when you're like, look, I don't got it. I ain't got it right now. Sometimes you can get looked at with the side eye. Like, look at the car you drive or look at the watch you wear. It's like, yes, I rewarded myself with some simple luxuries to keep me motivated on this journey, but that doesn't mean I just got Scrooge McDuck money where I'm just swimming in money in my living room that I can just loan out and give out to either random people or family members. Problem number two, being a Black millionaire, is that, we're excited about being a millionaire. We came from slavery. We came from all kind of trials and tribulations as Black people. So to overcome what we have overcame, which is redlining from the government, discrimination from the government, discrimination from other races, starting from, not having land, not having property, not being taught how to read, not being able to go to school, not even being able to drink from the same water fountains. You best believe we get excited when we hit $1 million mark, coming from the poverty and the chains and the restrictions that we've come from. But then what happens is, here's the problem. We get excited about that, and now we want to talk about it. And when we talk about it, excuse us if it now seems, I shouldn't say if it comes off as bragging, other people put their limitations on us and it's like, they're always bragging. He's always talking about money or showing wealth. And it's like, no, we're just excited that we're finally here. We're finally on the level playing field, or we're finally on the field making this kind of money, and it still ain't level. And so it's funny how, like, when we get to talk about money, or at least I did, again, this is my experience as a Black millionaire. When I talk about money, sometimes there's the side comments. It's like, oh, they bragging, or all they talk about is money and stuff like that. But it's like, no, we just excited to be here. We just excited that we finally are at a level in a place in life that we only saw other races and wasn't sure if it was quite possible for us, because number one, it used to be illegal for us to get that type of money. It used to be illegal for us to have our own land, our own property. We were considered the property. So yes, we talking about it. We fired up, we pumped, we excited. Problem number 3. Now this one's unique. I call this dual racism. Okay. Dual racism is from black people to black people and from other races to black people. And let me give you a couple examples. I'll give you a couple of examples of the dual racism. When I tell people I'm a stock trader and I show up just in a t-shirt, because I'm black and in a t-shirt, it's like, do he really trade stocks? Where he really make his money at? And so it's like, but if I was white and I showed up with like a blazer on, it'd be like, oh, he a stock trader. It'd be almost instant credibility amongst another black person or amongst another race. But when you black and you don't want to wear a suit coat, or you just want to wear a t-shirt and you say you're a stock trader, it's like, do you really trade stocks? Do you really know what you're doing? And so it comes off as if it's a color thing, because that's the only difference that I can see sometimes from other people who haven't proven themselves in this industry or done anything other than be a different race and wear a suit coat. Here's another example. I pull up at the gas station, local gas station. I pull up in the Rolls Royce, get out, I get some gas. And anyone who knows me knows my license plate say I invest. I got that license plate for a reason. Soon as I get out the car, a couple of, they were either Arabic or Chaldean. They were non-black. And they didn't mean any harm, but I'm talking to my best friend on the phone. I get out and they're like, can we see the car? Oh, that's a nice car. I'm like, yeah, check it out. Literally, one of the guys asked me, what do you play? I'm like, come on, man. What do I play? And my boy on the phone, he like, man, that's racist. And I'm like, look, I don't play nothing. Read the plates. I invest. And I'm like, oh, what do you invest in? And stuff like that. But that's what I'm talking about with that dual racism. It's like, black man jumping out of a Rolls Royce has to either rap or play sports. Like, didn't ask me, like, what do you invest in, right? Couldn't be, because you either have to rap or play sports. Now, I told my best friend, I'm like, look, I ain't take it personal. I kind of take it as a compliment that we are finally able to drive the things that used to be reserved for only rappers and for basketball players. We're able to wear the Rolex watches that used to only be reserved for drug dealers or basketball players or people in those industries. But I did want to bring it up. It's a problem. I call it dual racism, right? You get it from the black side, where it's like, do you really trade stocks? What do you really do? And then you get it from other races, like, what do you play? Like, as if we can only play basketball and rap, but I ain't tripping. That's why I'm out here like, okay, I'm going to be more vocal about being a millionaire, how I did it, and about helping more people, which is why we creating this movement, 5-Year Millionaire, and we got trade around it. We don't play basketball. We don't rap. We don't sell dope. We trade stocks and options. We own businesses as well. Let's talk about problem number 4. Problem number 4 is, this one is the most ironic to me, because I've had success in the stock market. I recorded videos of making $100,000 in one day. And in anything in life, when you have some success and you're passionate and you're excited about it, people say, find a way to work in your passion. People say, find a way to do what you love. You'll never work a day in your life. When it comes to the stock market, I'm like, I love it. I've had some success. I continue to have some success. Why don't I teach it? Why don't I build a business around it? If I can work in any industry, why don't I work as my own stock market coach and help people? And then here's the problem though. People have this attitude of, if you're so successful, then why do you teach the stock market? And I'm thinking, is this even a real question? Like, who do you want to teach you about the stock market? Somebody who's unsuccessful? Like, to me, that's the most dumbest question in the world. If you're so successful, why are you teaching? You just answered the question. because I'm having some success is why I'm teaching, and I'm excited to help other people have some success. So it's just an ignorant question, in my opinion. If you're so successful, then why are you teaching? Okay, how about I become unsuccessful and teach? Will you sign up for me to teach you then? Is that what you really want? And so it's just a ridiculous issue or problem that I see in this industry is that when you know something, you're passionate, and you have some success, why wouldn't the next step be to teach and share and help people? And of course, I built another 7-figure business around teaching my passion. Why wouldn't I do that? It's kind of like LeBron James leaving the NBA and starting a basketball camp. You'd be like, if you're successful, why are you starting a basketball camp? It's like, because he wants to help. He wants to give back. Or put a different way, you don't go to the coach and say, if you're so good at basketball, why aren't you out there dunking the ball? It's like, what are you talking about? We go to school and we pay teachers. We go in debt to pay teachers who have never had success in a field to teach us something. We go to school, go in debt, and learn marketing from a teacher who's never marketed. We learn business from a teacher who's never been in business, and we sign up for that all day and go in debt for it, and then get excited when they give us a piece of paper because we learned from somebody who actually never did anything in the industry that they teaching us, but read a book. But then when someone has done something in that industry, had some success, come to teach, we get questioned, if you're so successful, why are you teaching? Oh, okay. That one probably burns me up the most. That is the one that just like, I just want to flick people the bird when they ask me that, or they type it on social media, these keyboard warriors. All right, let's talk about problem number 5. Problem number 5 is kind of the opposite of problem number 4. You become successful, and then you like, all right, fine, I'm not going to teach nobody. Then you get accused of not reaching back, or in my hood, they say, you forgot where you came from. Oh, you too good for us now. You too good to share with us how it all works now that you done figured it out. So it's like, okay, when I try to teach it, it's like, if you so successful, why you teaching? Then if I don't teach it, it's like, oh, you too good for us now. You bougie. You done moved on. You done graduated. You forgot to reach back and help somebody else. It's like, oh, really? 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 Or you try to reach back and help people and everybody expect you to do it for free, right? Everybody expect you to do it for free, which that's a whole nother issue. But the point is, if you don't help people for free, you stuck up. If you don't help people at all, you forgot where you came from. It's like, no, I remember every day where I came from. That is why I'm working so hard to never go back to a house with bars on the window and people stealing our cars and our cars sitting on bricks, and we scared to leave our windows open because we don't want people to see our TV because we're afraid they might steal it. No, I remember exactly where I came from. Thank you very much. Problem number 6. And this is our final problem. And I'm going to share with you what I think is the solution. But problem number 6 is, when you say you're a millionaire or you made X amount of dollars in this game, in this industry, like when you black, there's this burden of proof. Like, show me some receipts, or like post all of your trading statements, or like show your last 10 years of tax returns. It's like, where does it stop? I've recorded myself making $100,000 in a day several times. Then they'd be like, well, show us the full year. You show them that. You'd be like, well, show us last year. You'd be like, there is no amount of proof that is going to help you believe that this is true. The only issue is that I'm young, I'm black, and I ain't wearing a suit. Because no other place. Do we go to Warren? I don't even want to bring Mr. Buffett into this. But in other races, all they got to do is wear a suit and a tie and say they work on Wall Street, and they just get the credit of being a millionaire or being successful or knowing what they talk about. Or they say, I went to that school and got a degree. You just assume they successful, made money, know what they're talking about. When you black and you do it, You got to prove, and then you got to prove again. And then after that, you got to prove for the last 10 years. And after that, they be like, bet you can't do it for 10 more years. So you always trying to prove yourself when you black and you're a millionaire, especially in the stock market. Very interesting. Very interesting. So as I think about this is why I created this movement called 5-Year Millionaire. There's a book out by Rachel Rodriguez. She's also a social media influencer. But one of the things that really touched me, her book is called We Should All Be Millionaires. And I thought, she's right. We should all be millionaires. I mean, it'd be so cool if all my friends were millionaires. Can you imagine the parties we would throw, the places we would visit, the foods that we would eat and not worry about who's picking up the tab? But then I took it a step further and said, yeah, we should all be millionaires, but how? And so I'm trying to help people the best way that I know how to become a millionaire and to get in that club. And for me, that is the stock market. It's one of the only places where you don't have to have a great business idea, but you can come along and put money with the people who do have a good business idea. It's one of the only places you don't have to be good at managing people. You can come and invest in the companies that already have great leadership and great managers in place and know how to manage their people. It's one of the only places where you don't have to figure out how to build the next iPhone, Chat GPT bot, or anything like that. You can just come along and invest with the companies and the people who do know how to do that. And you can come along for the ride and become a millionaire. See, becoming a millionaire, I found out, is a formula. And the formula that most people subscribe to is work your job, which is nothing wrong with that. I worked a job. I still have a job. My job is to serve our members, our community, our traders that have invested in our program. But most people's millionaire formula is, if you put, $200 every paycheck away into your 401k, and at the end of 40 years, maybe by the time you're 59 or 60, if you start while you're 20, maybe you'll become a millionaire. And I said, man, I don't want to be a millionaire when I'm 60. I mean, I do, but I want to be a millionaire in my 30s, 40s, and my 50s. And I want to enjoy it along the way. And so I reverse engineered the formula. And I said, okay, how do we do this in a shorter time frame? And what I found is that you can start with literally less than $5,000. And if you earn a certain percentage, which I break down in the program every month, which you can do with call and put options, when you know how to do it, you literally can become a millionaire in 5 years. Or as I like to say, you become a millionaire in about the same time that it takes to get a college degree, but without the debt. And so I am fired up. I am on a movement. I am creating a movement to help people break free of the shackles of the slavery of their mindset, of what they've been taught and what they believe to be true to get to a million. Because, I look at, once I finally hit a million, I'm thinking like our ancestors used to walk behind the cars. We used to drive our slave master around. Now we able to buy some of the best horses and carriages. We able to buy the Rolls Royces, the Ferraris. And you think, I heard someone say it like this before. I am living my ancestors' wildest dreams. Can you imagine my ancestors on a slave farm, on a slave ship, or some of us, got hung from trees, all kind of crazy stuff. Can you imagine? They looked at each other and said, one day we'll be millionaires. Someone in our family line will be millionaires. One day we'll own our own house. We'll know how to read. Not only will we know how to read, we'll know how to invest in the stock market at a time when you couldn't read, you couldn't invest, you couldn't own your own land and property. I am living my ancestors' wildest dreams. And you think I'm not going to scream from the mountaintops that I got something good over here? I figured it out. I cracked the code. I learned the formula. Oh, you best believe I am. I'm about to get even louder every video, every podcast, because we not going to stop until we help other people become 5-year millionaires. And whether they do it in 5 years, 6 years, 7, 8, 9, 10, my goal is to be the launching pad and the jumping off point for more people to become millionaires. So as I wrap this up, depending on when you listen to this episode, swing on over to 5yearmillionaire.com. That's the word 5yearmillionaire.com, so you can learn more about the movement. And I just want you to be aware of these 6 problems that us as Black millionaires go through. And if you listen to this and you a Black millionaire or a business owner or entrepreneur, if I forgot one or you got some experience that you went through that I didn't talk about, let's have a conversation in the comments, on the post, on the blog, or wherever you're listening to this. Thanks for tapping in with me. Go to 5yearmillionaire.com, join the movement, and share this episode with somebody who absolutely needs to hear it. I'll see you on the next one.